What's up, everybody? This is Danny Mathematics here with another example to explore. Today, guys, I want to go over example 2 of how to solve inequalities that have variables on both sides, right? Inequalities that have variables or unknown values on both sides of the inequality sign, okay? So in this particular example, guys, which was very similar to example 1, we have -3 times parentheses -7x minus 6 parentheses close minus 7 is less than, okay? Let me put that, okay? That sign represents this side being less than this opposite side, okay? Less than. All right, and then also, ladies and gentlemen, if you have problems with inequality signs, right? Always look at it as like a Pac-Man mouth, okay? So for example, if I have this inequality sign right here, right? And if I was to do this, that look like Pac-Man, right? So Pac-Man is always gonna face the greater side because Pac-Man eats as he goes, right? So Pac-Man is always gonna face the greater side. So if Pac-Man is facing this side, this is the greater side, this is the less than side. If Pac-Man, right? If the inequality sign or the Pac-Man mouth is facing this way, then this is the greater side and this is the less than side, okay? So once again, think about Pac-Man. Pac-Man is always gonna go in the direction where it's more food or greater food, okay? So just wanted to explain that. So once again, this side is less than this side, and this side says x minus 29, x minus 29. So we're trying to find out, guys, what values of x, or what is the range of values that x could be, okay? What is the range of values that x could be in order to make this whole inequality true to where this side is less than that side? So that's what we're about to do, guys, and we're about to find out. So first thing that I always tell my kids to do, my students to do, is to always draw a line going through the inequality sign, or if you're doing equations, going through the equal sign, so you can clearly see that there's two sides to the inequality, okay? Or the equation, if you're doing equations. So the first thing, guys, that I need to do is we need to combine like terms. That's step 1. But in this particular situation, guys, we need to distribute in order for us to combine like terms. So I need to bring out everything that's inside this parentheses. I need to bring it out by multiplying it by -3. So I'm going to multiply -7x by -3. I'm going to multiply -6 by -3, okay? So once again, I'm going to multiply -7x by -3, and that is a positive, because the negative times the negative is a positive. That is a positive 21x. Okay? All right, the next part, I'm going to do -3 times -16. That's a positive 18. So I have successfully distributed, and then I'm going to bring down that -7. It just comes down. So I'm just rewriting the inequality as I go. Okay, so I distributed. So now I have -21x plus 18 minus 7 is less than x minus 29. Okay, I still have x minus 29 on the opposite side. Okay, cool. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I can combine like terms. So I'm going to combine all of the single numbers together, and I'm going to combine all of the coefficients that are in relationships with x. I'm going to combine those together, okay? So on this side, guys, on the left side, I don't have nothing to combine with 21x. So 21x is going to come down as itself, okay? I don't have anything to combine with 21x, so it's going to come down as itself. But here, I can combine 18 with -7 or -7, right? So I'm going to do 18 minus 7, and that is 11. That's 11. So on this side, guys, everything's simplified down to 21x plus 11. 21x plus 11. And once again, let me do the opposite side. X cannot be combined with -29, so they just come down the same. They cannot be combined because they are not like terms, so they're just going to come down the same. So I have x minus 29 still on the right side of the inequality sign, okay? All right, now the next thing I'm going to do, guys, is step 2. I'm going to label each value, and I'm gonna label the size, right? And whatever I put a heart, guys, that is the operation or the relationship between the coefficient and the variable. So whenever I see a coefficient linked with a variable, I'm gonna put a heart, and whenever I just see a number, I'm just gonna put an S, meaning singles, okay? So here, guys, 21 is in an operational relationship with X because it's actually saying 21 times X. So I'm gonna put a heart, right? Because the true value comes out of their operation or their relationship, okay? 11 is not attached to an X and it's not a coefficient. So I'm just gonna put single for S, okay? This X right here, guys, whenever you see X or just a variable, there's an imaginary 1 that's attached to it. So X is in operation with 1, so I'm gonna put a heart, and then negative 29 is a single, so I'm gonna put an S, okay? So now, ladies and gentlemen, what we're gonna do next is, which we still on step 2, is we're gonna label both sides, right? And whatever side that X is attached or is in operation with the highest coefficient, I always label that side as the relationship side. 21 is a higher coefficient than 1, so I'm going to label this side as the relationship side, but it really doesn't matter, guys. It could be the opposite side. I just choose not to deal with negatives as I go through the process, okay? So now, ladies and gentlemen, all we need to do is go to step 3. Move values on correct sides, and all we need to do is match the symbols. So if the symbol match, the variable stays. The value stays, my bad. If the symbol match, the value stays. If the symbol does not match, the value needs to move to the opposite side where it does match, okay? So 21X is in a relationship, right? And they are on the relationship side, so they stay. But plus a positive 11 is single, and these symbols do not match. So I'm gonna do minus 11 to move that 11, the value of 11 to the opposite side. I have to hit it with the inverse, so I'm gonna do minus 11 on both sides. And a like term that I can do that with is negative 29. So it's gonna be minus 11. And we know that a positive 11 and a negative 11 crosses out, or they cancel out, all right? And then on the single side, guys, 1 and X are in relationship with one another, and they should not be on the single side. So the opposite is saying negative 1X. Negative 1X. Negative 1X, and 1X minus 1X is nothing. So now, guys, all I have is these two particular operations right here, right? Where I'm subtracting or adding, right? So 21X minus 1X is 20X. It's 20X. And then negative 29 minus negative 11, minus 11, my bad, negative 29 minus 11, or a negative 29 plus a negative 11 is a negative 40. Is a negative 40. All right, so now we have 20X is less than negative 40. In order for us to find out the potential values that X could possibly be, in order to make this true, I need to divide both sides by the coefficient, which is me breaking up the coefficient in X. So I'm going to divide both sides by 20. I'm going to divide both sides by 20. And then 20X divided by 20 is X. And it's going to be less than negative 40 divided by 20 is a negative 2. Is a negative 2. Okay, it's a negative 2, right? So X can be any value that's less than negative 2. So potentially, guys, X could potentially be negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 10, negative 100, or whatever, right? All of these values that X is less than, that are less than negative 2, X could be in order to make this whole inequality true, okay? So just like in the first video, if you want to check that, just plug in these values, and these values will show you that whatever you get, the value of this side will be less than the value of that side, okay? So once again, guys, X could be any value that's less than negative 2, which is negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, and so forth and so on, right? X can be any one of those values. So thank y'all so much, guys, for tuning in, guys. Talk to you next time.